The Electoral Commission has suspended mass rallies in 13 districts due to a high incidence of COVID-19. The Electoral Commission Chairman, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi, says this was arrived at after consultations and expert guidance by the Ministry of Health. He, however, said campaigns will now be strictly conducted through media outlets due to COVID-19 pandemic and health risks involved.
The Commission has made some decisions. According to the Ministry of Health experts, some areas have been categorized as having high sustained and diffuse transmission. High sustained and diffuse transmission districts or areas. And these areas, therefore, in the view of the Commission, it has been decided that these areas should be removed from the campaign schedules by all candidates. These include Mbarara, Kabarole, Luwero, Kasese, Masaka, Wakiso, Kabale, Jinja, Kureta Mkono, Kampala, Kalungu, and Kazo. I repeat, Kazo, Kalungu, Tororo, Jinja, Kabarole, Luwero, Kasese, Masaka, Kabale, Kampala, Mbarara, Kureta Mkono. Campaign meetings in all these areas are suspended until further notice.
The Commission advises political parties and aspiring candidates, their agents and supporters from other districts that have not been affected to strictly follow the SOPs on public meetings as issued by the Ministry of Health. The Electoral Commission emphasizes safe practices which have been customized to electoral process that include practicing social distancing, wearing face masks and regular hand washing.
The apparent deliberate defiance by some political candidates or by some candidates not to follow the guidelines, not follow the SOPs. Some of them are even misleading the people. It doesn't matter even if you don't have a mask, no problem. Others have been saying, I will never put on the mask, and I will not ask people in my meeting to put on the mask. It's not necessary. Really? Is that a sign of a responsible leader? Now let's make this very clear. What is suspended are campaign meetings. The candidates are at liberty to have campaigns using virtual means. That is radios, TVs, and other media platforms, social media, and so on and so forth. Online campaigns can go on. But physical campaign meetings are banned or suspended until further notice. Processions are suspended. Those are not even allowed in the first place. We banned processions right from the beginning, but of course some candidates who think they're above the law, they have been defined. They have been actually defined. So campaign meetings, whether it's 70 people or 200 people for all elected positions in those areas are banned. Let the candidates resort to virtual campaigns, radio, TV, online, or social media, and so on and so forth. Now, let me say, some candidates have taken it upon themselves to defy the Commission and act as they want. Let me warn you, the Commission will not entertain any more games in that regard. the law enforcement agencies are going to be at hand to decisively deal with any candidate who is acting in defiance of this. Even for other areas, mind you, even for other areas which are not these high sustained transmission districts or areas, even for those areas which are not part of this group or category, the guidelines must still be observed. No more processions, no mass rallies. If any candidate is inclined to continue acting in defiance, then that candidate stands to be suspended from campaigning. I repeat, any candidate who is inclined to continue acting in defiance stands the risk of being banned from campaigns, even in areas which are not the high risk transmission areas. It is therefore in the interest, this does not only apply to candidates, by the way, even supporters. And we are going to ask law enforcement to ensure the supporters of any candidate who are acting in defiance, if the candidate is compliant, but the supporters are not, let the law enforcement deal. They were arresting so many people here during the lockdown. They can do that. They can do that in these areas. They can round up these supporters or the ring leaders, the people who are inducing or inciting the supporters to come out in non-observance. Because we must secure our people from the spread of this virus. You remember at the beginning when the commission said, please, because of COVID, let this not take place. People were laughing at us. Yeah, you are in political jokes. You are just Katemba. Now COVID is here, staring everybody in the face. So please, I repeat, any candidate who is inclined to continue acting the way they have been acting, as if they are above everybody, as if they are above the law, as if they are Nyantagambwako, Nyantamegwa. The people ask, under what law? Under what law? Section 12 of the Electoral Commission. First of all, the Commission gives us the mandate to organize elections in accordance with the law, the Constitution, the law general. Secondly, the Electoral Commission Act, Section 12, subsection 1H, mandates the Commission or gives the Commission powers, among other things, to ensure that the candidates campaign in an orderly and organized manner. If we are saying, given the advent of COVID-19, the only way you can have orderly and organized campaign is in this form, and you don't do it, what do you want us to do for you? Secondly, under the Presidential Elections Act, the Commission has the powers to determine the manner and period during which campaigns shall take place. The manner and period. And the subsection 2 says, every candidate may hold individual public campaign meetings in any part of Uganda in accordance with any existing law. Every candidate may hold individual public campaign meetings in any part of Uganda in accordance with any existing law. The Public Health Act is an existing law. The statutory instruments made under that act is an existing law. The SOPs and the guidelines that the Electoral Commission came up with, focusing on the observance of SOPs, are in accordance with existing law. But you don't do that. You don't do that. And now the experts are saying, Electoral Commission, please, you have to do something about what is happening now. The trajectory of transmission, which are largely centered or arising out of large public gatherings, that must be addressed. So it is in that context, therefore, the Electoral Commission has come up now to issue further guidelines on how these elections must be done, how campaigns for the remaining period have to be conducted, given the upsurge in the infections of COVID-19. We want to appeal, to all the candidates and all the supporters. This is a matter of life. Before you think of votes or ballots, you must think of life first. Now, the Constitution, people have been saying, but what you are proposing, Chairman, is against the Constitution. The liberties that are enshrined in the Constitution, that are sacrosanct, or that cannot be negotiated over. The same Constitution in Article 23, Clause 1D, can quote it. Article 23, Clause 1D, subclause D. It says, no person shall be deprived of personal liberty except in any of the following cases. D, for the purpose of preventing the spread of an infectious or contagious disease. If there is a need to prevent the spread of a contagious or infectious disease, then government can come in and curtail the liberties of the citizens in that regard. As it happened when the government launched or when government imposed the lockdown, it was for purposes of ensuring that, look, this disease does not spread. But when the lockdown was eased and the people, the citizens, were allowed some minimum level of mobility in observance, while observing the SOPs, when it comes to the political class or actors, they are doing the opposite. So we have therefore come out to say, if there is any continued breach by any particular candidate, that candidate will be totally banned from carrying out any campaigns in any part of the country, even those areas where the transmission rates are minimal or they are low. But for now, but in these 13 areas, from today, no more campaigns, campaign meetings, those areas. We are also told that in Kampala now, every week they are 2,000 positive cases are being discovered.